That was a little Hans Zimmer, The Cornfield Chase, Interstellar, the original soundtrack. And I'm thinking, a couple summers ago in Collingwood, I looked up and saw something I've never witnessed before. The tiny little lights dancing in the skies. They weren't stars, but drones moving in perfect formation, forming all kinds of shapes and patterns over the harbor. And you have a chance to experience something like that on Tuesday, August 19th, over historic Fort York. That region is going to come alive with the Origin of Light, Toronto's very first immersive orchestral drone experience. Fully orchestral. And I happen to have the founder of Portal 9, the artistic director with a track record of transforming cutting-edge technology into breathtaking human storytelling on the line. That's Lianne Baron. Welcome to the Jukebox.
Hi, thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for having me today.
A pleasure. Well, I am so intrigued about this concept. What we saw here in Collingwood, were drones up in the sky. It was so memorable. Everybody's, eyes, their jaw dropped. But your version is orchestral, which adds yet another layer to the whole experience. So I was wondering if you could describe the experience for someone seeing the Origin of Light for the first time.
Well, it's exactly that. You're completely right. And I think we've all seen these different elements independently, right? So as you're speaking to the drones, we see these on different events and different types of kind of moments, big festivals and things like this. But it's never been done from what we've seen with an orchestra. And the additional part is having the stage visuals. So it's actually 3 shows. It's an immersive art experience. I'm working with 8 of the top creators that have been in the immersive space for the last maybe 5 or 6 years, compiling the storytelling that allows us to share the actual narrative that we've kind of come together and created, myself and my co-founder, Christian and Lumen, and putting this all together. So it's deeply, I think, something that's grounded in the senses, and it ignites all of those different feels. And that's why this makes this something completely unique. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, let's break it down into little components here. So you're basing the story on some Greek mythology, the myth of Lyra. There's also the Ontario Pops Orchestra playing live, a true multidisciplinary experience. So why did you choose that as the central narrative?
It's interesting, and why we've even pursued this at all. Both Christian and I have known each other actually for 30 years, and we've followed each other's trajectories. He's staying in the flight industry and the airline industry and evolving his work, his creative work, into the drones. And for me, creatively, I've pursued the traditional arts and then going into immersive experiences. And we independently have been trying to figure out, what it is that we want to tell, the story. And it's really about the human experience, which is kind of, you start from a place of vibrancy, but, life has a way of almost dampening that. And then we realized that we were sharing the same story of this rising phoenix, where you kind of come together and tell what it is to share your light. And when we realized we had the same story, we said, maybe we should combine our craft and make this one experience. And that's kind of where we landed, and we pursued it. Yeah.
Terrific. Wow. And tell us about the location, why you chose historic Fort York.
Also really, I think, integral to the storytelling of this, because obviously we know that there was a battle that occurred on those grounds. They are sacred grounds, and we wanted to be very mindful of making sure that every piece of this story had meaning. And I think, as I was explaining to you, there's kind of a darkness that is paired with the light. And it's almost as though you need that darkness, unfortunately, to see the light. And with that history, it really kind of adds yet another layer. There's a darkness to what happened, and there was a battleground. But then again, that was to protect the lands of Toronto. And so we wanted to speak to how we come from this space. Yeah, and we want to actually acknowledge that land and what happened there. And we thought it was a fitting space for it.
Well, speaking of merging the old with the new, you're also weaving that mythic narrative with a contemporary soundtrack. Tell us about the music choices spanning Hans Zimmer, Metallica, all the way to Disney.
Well, exactly that. I think both Christian and I love the idea of pairing kind of contemporary music with the classics and the traditional delivery of an orchestra. There's something really interesting in remixing it in that way, and obviously a nod to the true classics, but doing a new twist on what people are really familiar with. I mean, Metallica, who would have thought? But there's something that is actually incredibly beautiful about paring it down, slowing it down, and adding strings to it.
You're talking with a Metallica fan here, so this works.
Yes, nothing else matters is on the score for that one. Yeah.
No, some of the music is it's so melodic, so rich. They've played with orchestras, so this is beautiful. Tell me a little bit about what excites you about where immersive performance is heading. Any ideas for future shows, new cities, new stories, or just kind of broad terms?
Oh, definitely. Yes. So we didn't go about this just thinking it would be one show. We would love to continue this narrative, having this as the core narrative, but as we take it on tour across Canada, hopefully into the States as well, that we would actually pull in the local artists in that area. So that's the thinking, is that this is not something that will just be stagnant. It will shift and change. The narrative will be the same, but what we really want to do is activate the creativity in the people of the areas that we're going to be visiting. And I think that that's important. This is storytelling, and it's done with artists. And that's kind of the other layer of the story that we want to share, is that these are craftspeople, We've been working on our craft for many, many years, and this is a wonderful way to bring it all together.
Wonderful. I am speaking with Lianne Baron. She is the founder of Portal 9, and together with Christian Illumin, CEO of Illumin Drone Shows, they have an incredible show coming up Tuesday, August 19th. It's the skies over historic Fort York that will come alive with the origin of light. And they're telling Lyra's story through light, sound, and technology. If you were to summarize the experience in one sentence for anyone, considering getting out there on Tuesday, August 19th, what would you say?
I would say to absolutely take advantage of the summer in Toronto, to have a full sensory experience that will really, I think, ignite the light that you have inside of you. And it's just reflected back in the things that you'll be seeing around you. And we're really excited to share this with the city and hope that it brings light to times where we really need it the most.
Love that. Ignite the light inside of you. You can check out the website also, theoriginoflight.com, theoriginoflight.com for further details. Thank you, Lianne. Enjoy putting this all together. It's going to be an incredible night under the stars for sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having us on. Thank you.